Hello everybody, Andy from Glass Half Dead here, and today I wanted to have a little look at what Games Workshop seems to be doing for Warhammer 40,000 10th edition, hashtag new 40k, and see how that might be applied to Kill Team, and just have a little think about such things and see if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So, quick breakdown. You all know what 40k is. It's the big daddy, the full-scale version of Kill Team. Yes, that's how I came up with my other channel's name, Full Scale Wargaming. They're releasing a new edition, and in it they are simplifying it. They have this tagline of simplified, not simple. Just so you know, that's pure marketing speak, doesn't make any sense. Don't think about it, it's fine, let's move on. And one thing they're doing in it is they've done a very interesting thing with how their stratagems work. They're trying to simplify it. Cool. I thought we'd have a quick look at that. Before we get into that, obviously, if you haven't looked, a lot of people have probably seen this, and if you're looking at this Terminator Squad datasheet right here, you might see it shares a lot more similarities with Kill Team's datasheets now than it used to. Yes, it does. That's a very good thing. I'm very happy about that. All things considered, I quite like Kill Team. Not sure if you're aware of that. And I quite like how they've decided to follow in its footsteps in 40k. I really like the breaking up of the range weapons into their own separate profiles. So they can be their own thing, separate from the unit. Very cool. And they have, of course, also, therefore, shrunk a little bit the actual, like, the core stats of the main datasheet as well, of the model itself. Cool. Now that's not exactly what we're going to look at. We're going to look at what I thought was super cool from them, which is, if I scroll down, wait for it, the stratagem. Okay. This is how a stratagem will now look in 40k, and I love it. Okay? So, firstly, before I get into this, no. Okay, right. Very clearly, it costs you 1 CP. It tells you exactly when it happens, exactly who it affects, what the effect is, and any restrictions. 4 bullet points. All you need to know. It's so good. I just love it. It's so simple. They haven't revolutionized the wheel, but they sure did sand it down so it's a real sphere, you know? Like, it's good. It's very nice. I really like it. And now a quick note. If we then scroll back up to the Terminator datasheet and we look at how long Teleport Homer is and how long Fury the First is, I honestly don't know why they haven't followed this for everything. I genuinely wish that all of the 40k rules looked like this. Everything, right? They haven't done that. It's really frustrating. But I want to have a quick look at the next one as well, just so you can see that it's not just a one-off. There's also Armor of Contempt. So again, we see it's a stratagem. When, target, effect. There are no restrictions, so you don't need the restriction bit. Awesome. Love it. And then I had the thought, is this actually good? Or do I just not know enough about Warhammer 40k to be able to say whether or not this is good? I've looked at stratagems before. They weren't super dense, but, you know, there was a lot to them, and it was more how many there were that was an issue, not the text on the card, right? So maybe I'm just getting excited about a very basic layout thing, and, oh, GW figured out how to bullet point things correctly. So, what I've done in this video, what I want to talk about, is I have taken a strat ploy, attack ploy, and an ability from Kill Team and rewritten them to see how they would be worded and how they would look if everything in Kill Team were to follow this. Why am I doing this? Because it's a bit of fun. There you go. I don't really have any more of an answer to that. However, if you're subscribed to my channel, I'd like to give you a big double hello. What is a double hello? Well, it's a pleasantry that's given to you twice, and if there's anything better than one pleasantry, it's 2 pleasantries. So there you go. Does any more need to be said? No, it does not. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, if you like all this Kill Team goodness, consider checking out my Patreon. And if you want to see me cover more of Warhammer 40,000, consider checking me out on my other channel, Full Scale Wargaming, where I'm also going to be covering Killteam Gallowfall whenever that comes out. As a battle report, I'm going to be covering Shatterpoint, Star Wars Shatterpoint, and of course, Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k. All in high quality, highly edited battle reports. Go check me out over there. Anyway, let's dive in, shall we? I did just want to throw down once more, and this is a genuine question to you now. Perhaps you guys have followed this more than I have. I think this looks really nice, easy, simple to follow. I feel like I could read a book, and if it was all the rules were worded like this, when, target, effect, restrictions, I could follow it. So, question, why didn't they do it for everything? Why did they only do that for some things and not other things? Legit question. If you have an insight, please let me know. So, there you go. Also, just a minor side note. For those of you unaware, because I was obviously looking through our ploys on Wikipedia before I wrote this, and all of us, Age of Sigmar 3rd edition released before us, and this is how they look. So they were there before us, just so you know. So when everybody's saying, oh, don't these date sheets look just like Killteam? They're kind of a blend of Killteam and Sigmar. Obviously, Sigmar has turned their core stats to only being 4 numbers, whereas they've stuck here with 6, and we have 6 as well, I think. Sigmar was kind of getting there before in the first place, because they'd already broken their weapons out into their own date sheet. So, honestly, I like it. There you go. Right, and then I wanted to come over here so that we can have a look at this. This would just happen to be on the page because I was one of the abilities that I wrote was the track target from Phobos. I decided to rewrite it for us. I just want to look at this. Look how many words are there. I know what it does. I will have to go and reread this entire paragraph every time I wanted to do this. It's crazy. Okay, cool. Let's go for it. So, first up, a strat ploy. The breaches have a strat ploy called Attack Order. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dense lines. Place one of your attack order tokens anywhere in the kill zone each time a friendly Imperial Navy breacher operative fights in combat. Blah, 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 blah. You get it. You can read it there. Now, here, below that, I have, of course, gone and redone it. When each time a friendly operative fights in combat or makes a shooting attack, target friendly operative within 6 inches of attack order token. Effect. Place attack order token anywhere in the kill zone. Reroll any or all of your attack dice results of 1 result. Cool. Restrictions. Remove attack order token at the end of turning point. Cannot use in the same turn as defense order is used. What do you think? Is that easier? Is that harder? The same? Just a different format? I think it's easier. Because when I'm scanning through... Basically, you can't scan attack order. You can't scan attack ploy, a strat ploy, and understand when things happen, why they happen, who they happen on. You have to read the entire paragraph. When it comes to the rewrite, when does it happen? Boom. Who is it? The entire team, or is it that one operative? Is it only the operative that cast it? Target. Very nice. Very nice. Just for ease of reading, even if we simply copy-pasted every single word here, but broke it out into when, target, effect, restrictions, or whatever we decided our bullet points would be, it would still be easier to parse than a big block of text. Let's have a look at attack ploy. This is just a scratch. I think everybody knows what just a scratch does. However, use a tactical ploy in the resolve successful hit step of a shooting attack or combat when damage would be inflicted on a friendly commander operative, excluding commander operatives from an attack dice. Ignore the damage inflicted from that attack dice. What do we break that down to? When? Before damage would be inflicted on a friendly operative. Target. Friendly commander operative. Effect. Ignore damage from an attack dice. Restrictions. Excluding Commando Grot. Or I suppose it should be no Commando Grot. I don't know. Or cannot be used on Commando Grot. So there you go. What do you think about that one? So luckily, just a scratch is a significantly less complicated rule than attack order. But still, I like it. I like the format. Let's get on to the next one. So, this is track target. So you know, I truly believe that track target is the worst written rule in Kill Team to date. So I've actually reworded it as well. Sorry, the copy paste there. So this is an ability. An ability, of course, is going to be slightly different to how a strat ploy or attack ploy work. An ability, traditionally, typically, is going to be cast on oneself, but you still need to have target, because of course sometimes the target might be like from a comms, so it could be another operative. It could be another operative with invisible, blah, 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 stuff like that. So, anyway, that is a dense... I encourage you to fully read track target. I won't, because it's so long and convoluted. And, again, just the worst written rule in Kill Team. However, let's break it down into a few sentences. So, when, once this turning point. Now, that's a little bit of a... I feel that could be, perhaps, if one would sit down and think through things better when it comes to ability. The when is a bit of an odd one with ability, because you'd also... Do you have to define it is only in place after this happens or before, blah, blah, blah. Is it innate? Is it activated, etc.? But whatever. Once this turning point, target this operative. Again, it could have been a comms, so it could have been any operative within 6, something like that. Effect, perform an Overwatch action interrupting an enemy activation. Now, I believe that an interruption should be a core rule, and that should be defined in core rules, so I haven't defined what an interrupt is. That should be something that is done elsewhere, not in here. However, if it were to be defined here, it would be defined in restrictions, I believe. So anyway, restrictions. Must use Stalker Marksman Bolt Carbine against interrupted operative. So, arguably, that I've actually rolled two restrictions into one sentence there. That's on me. You don't have to do that. That could be broken out again. But not only are you saying it must be this weapon, but you're also saying it has to be against that interrupted operative. Unlike Overwatch and unlike Guard. Cool. Action is treated as a shoot action for the purposes of bolted discipline. Now, that's the main thing I changed. Because in the above, it says this action is treated as a shoot action with a bolt weapon for the purposes of action restrictions. That is way too ambiguous for the rule to work as it's supposed to work. So I changed it and specifically referenced another... Because that's what they mean. That's what they mean when they said that, but it's not what they wrote. So I specifically linked it to bolted discipline. The other rule, that's the effect they wanted to have. Can be performed from conceal, but must swap to engaged. Boom. How do we feel about that? Let's go through it again. When, once the turning point, target this operative. Effect, perform an Overwatch action, interrupting an enemy activation. Restrictions, must use Stalker Marksman Bolt Carbine against interrupted operative. Action is treated as a shoot action for the purposes of bolted discipline. Can be performed from conceal, but must swap to engaged. There you go. How about that? Now, I've got to say, I think I did a pretty good job rewording track target, but let's not dwell on that too much. Let's not dwell on the specifics. So there you go, that's a strat ploy, attack ploy, and an ability, all rewritten into the new 40k format. Amusingly, I then went to click on the 40k format, but I came to the thing where it's too long. So so what do you think? You know, presumably there's a new edition coming out at some point. We know that all of GW's design studios work together. Is this what they're going to do? Is that enough? Could it be done better? Am I the only one as enamored with the bullet points from New 40k and nobody else cares? Is everybody else totally happy with, you know, this? A complete inability to scan a rule and understand what it does with any form of accuracy? How often have you read a rule and gone to ask a question and say, how does this work? And then the answer is, read the next part of the rule, and that answers your question. I've done it. Yeah, we've all done it. We've all said, I don't understand how this rule works. And then you read the rest of the rule. And it's like, oh, that's how that rule works. Because your brain just gets tired. Let me tell you that. Back when I was doing my man reads books, You can see me make a mistake as I'm reading the huge paragraph of text that I have to read for Kill Team rules, and start saying, so this is how the rule works, as I'm trying to speed through it for the camera, so it's not too long a video. And I get it wrong. And the reason I get it wrong is because I didn't finish reading the rule. Anyway, that would not happen when it comes to this. When target effect restriction. Very nice bullet points. Obviously, it should be enhanced with things that they've done here, like keywords. And bringing... So here they've got the keyword of a faction. That's fair enough. But it could also be universal keywords, right? Universal rules. So you could link to heavy. So you could say... You wouldn't need to, well, no, not heavy. Heavy's a bad example. But anyway, I'm hyped on it. I think it's cool. Anyway, that's me done for this video. I did the work by doing these. There you go. What do you think? Also, to be clear, I don't think these were particularly good ones for me to have translated into this. Attack order is a complicated one. Because you've got to decide where you put how do you place a token, etc., etc. Just to scratch is probably a good one. And obviously track target I disagree with so much fundamentally that I literally reworded it so that it made sense. Awkward. So, you know, like, I didn't cherry pick these. They were just the ones that were there. So for attack order, I picked that because I didn't know how it worked. So I wanted to sit down and read it and say, okay, how does this work? And the best way of doing that, of course, is to make myself do it for a video. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Wow, wasn't that wholesome? And guys, basically, long story short, I'm hyped for 40k. There you go. 10th edition looks really exciting for me. I like what they've done with wording. Genuinely, I'm a little bit sad that they haven't taken this to everything else as well. I don't think everything needs it, to be clear, right? But when you get a really long piece of text, I think they probably should have defaulted to this being how everything is worded. But then if you get something that's quite small and you actually don't need 4 bullet points, maybe don't use it then. But otherwise, as soon as you're over 4 lines of text, you should drop to that. That's my view. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Consider checking out my other channel, which is yet to be posted on, but it probably will be at some point soon, maybe. Yeah, consider if you like what I'm doing here, check out my Patreon. It's all linked in the description below. Oh, and if you're buying some stuff for yourself for 40k, consider using my Element Games affiliate link. I don't understand the mechanics of the economy, but basically I get money for you using that link and it doesn't cost you anything else. Let's not think about it. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you've had a good day and continue to have a good day. Goodbye.